good? Welcome back, ladies, to the Angie Method channel. All right, I haven't done a recipe in a while, and I thought with Mother's Day coming up, I should do a cocktail recipe. Now, I didn't make or invent this cocktail. I am not making it macro or calorie friendly. I'm gonna have it as is because I love the flavor and I don't wanna make any changes to this delicious cocktail. And then I'll explain to you why I'm choosing this cocktail and why I'm not making any changes to enjoy it on Mother's Day. I also wanna share with you a favorite recipe from somebody else that I follow. Her name is Lauren Fit Foodie. She has great macro recipes and she has a lot of dessert, so if you also are a sugar fan, I'd go check her out. But this particular recipe, it is like 3 ingredients and it takes no time at all. It's high protein because it's made with egg whites, plus it has this really buttery crust with crescent rolls. And it's a nice compliment, like if you're, you know what, I wanna keep my food a little bit more sustenance, higher protein, enjoy that while enjoying a cocktail on Mother's Day, I got you covered. Okay, so first up, I am gonna show you what this looks like. I made Lauren Fit Foodie's upside down egg white pizza. Can you see that? See how it's upside down, right? So when it cooks, the crescent roll actually starts on the bottom. As it cooks though, the egg white flips to the bottom. And you see all that protein right there? And then on the top, it has mozzarella cheese. And I put some Roma tomatoes and Italian spices and red pepper flakes. So what I was thinking is, I don't really know the full plan for brunch on Mother's Day, but there's something about having no commitments where I could just wake up, go to our back porch. In Texas, it's already sunny and blue skies in May, and just sit out there and enjoy a cup of coffee and have like a high protein breakfast that is gonna be full of flavor, and I won't feel like too heavy or full, just to enjoy the day. And then, you know, maybe around 11 or 12, whatever it is, I'd like to have a cocktail. So for today's recipe, I'm gonna make the French 75. If you have not had it, it is my favorite cocktail recipe. Paul makes it so good, but it's made with a little bit of Prosecco, okay? And I got simple syrup. I bought it from the store just so when I wanna make cocktails, it's kinda easier to use and I feel like it doesn't go bad based on like making a homemade one. So it'll be simple syrup, fresh lemon juice, I'm gonna squeeze that in a minute, and some Waterloo gin. Now I'm choosing Waterloo gin because it makes this beautiful purple color, and I feel like holding that champagne flute with my favorite cocktail, sitting outside with the sun shining with a beautiful purple tint is gonna be really enjoyable. So this cocktail, I first had it when I turned 30 years old, and my girlfriends and I went to New Orleans for a 30th birthday trip. It was pretty fun. And with the first place we ate brunch at, which was so beautiful, we're sitting outside with those big like willow trees just draping down and the twinkling lights. They told us that the French 75 was one of the first cocktails in New Orleans when, you know, everybody moved there. So since then, it is one of my favorite ones to have on a special occasion. Now, I could have a lower calorie drink on Mother's Day, maybe a Truly or some type of seltzer, a lower calorie beer, but there's a certain time and place when I want to amplify the experience with food or drink. And on Mother's Day, when I just get a kickback and relax, and Paul's like, I got this, let's do whatever you want, that's when I'll be most at peace and most present to truly enjoy something that I love. So rather than just having something to have it as a drink because it's lower calorie, like I want to enjoy every sip of it. I want to enjoy the ritual of having it. I want to enjoy my husband making the cocktail and me just sitting out on my back porch. And so I like to teach in the Angie method, like this concept sustenance versus celebration, where sometimes you are going out or you're socializing, or it's a special day like Mother's Day or a holiday or a birthday, and you might be like, you know what though, like it's still gonna be more of a sustenance food day for me, where you're like, I'm celebrating my husband's birthday, but you're like, but I also just wanna eat more of a sustenance meal tonight. I don't want something heavy. Or it might be something like Mother's Day, and you're like, you know what? This is the day where I wanna have higher calorie food or higher calorie drinks, and it will amplify an already amazing experience. So for me, Mother's Day is that day. So I am gonna show you this cocktail, and then I will kind of tell you about how many calories it is. But again, it's gonna be a day that I don't really care what I eat or drink. It's more about just being present with my family and with my husband and enjoying being a mom. So let me dive right in. Okay, so I already made the egg white pizza. I showed you what that looked like, but I put like the Roma tomatoes on it. See, I already cut it so you can see what that looks like. So you can go check out her link to the recipe. I made it exactly as is. Again, I just added Italian seasoning, red pepper flakes, and the Roma tomatoes on top. If I had fresh basil, I would have put that on there as well. But I will start with this outside, sitting on our back porch. We might, end up making dinner or something like that, and then I'll enjoy it with the French 75. So let's make that recipe. Okay, here we go. We've got Prosecco, lemon, simple syrup, and you gotta get the Empress gin. Now, there's a brand called Waterloo, and the brand is Treaty Oak, which is a local distillery in Dripping Springs. And their Waterloo gin, I'm pretty sure, tints the cocktail purple as well. When it hits citrus, like this is the coolest part about it. But I was like, I wanna make sure it actually is purple and I don't screw this up. Because truth be told, I'm not really good at making cocktails. Paul always makes the cocktails, but I'm giving it a whirl today for this episode. He'll make them on Sunday. So I did buy the Empress brand of gin, and this will give it like a lavender pink tint when it hits the citrus. It's really fun. So what I'm gonna do is put all of this in a ice-filled cocktail shaker. I'm gonna do 3/4 of an ounce lemon juice, 3/4 of an ounce simple syrup, 1.5 ounces of gin, and 2 ounces of Prosecco. So let me mix it all up, and then I'll show you the finished product. Oh, by the way, I don't even know when it comes to cocktails how much each of these are. So I went ahead and measured this out before I started this to make sure I don't overdo it. And 3/4 of an ounce, if you have a food scale, which made it way easier, is 23 grams on the scale. So it's 23 grams of the simple syrup, 23 grams of lemon juice, and then I do know, now that I've looked it up, this is an ounce, this is 1/2 ounce. So I'll do 1 of each of these for the gin and 2 of these for the Prosecco. Okay, hang tight. Open. It's so cold. But it did say put a lot of ice in here to make it really cold. Okay, hold on. Okay, so that was a super simple recipe. Now, I'm filming this on Tuesday, so I'm gonna take a sip. Probably won't have the whole thing because I got a few more meetings to do after this with some business consultants and my strategy team, but I'm gonna give it a little taste, okay? But first, you see how pretty the Empress gin makes that cocktail, and then you can see the little bubbles in there, and then I garnished it with a little bit of lemon, but it's super refreshing. It's nice and like cold and yummy, and it's like a perfect sitting outside with no demands, no responsibilities, just being a mom. So let's take a sip. It is so good. And if you're watching, you're like, I don't know, I'm not really a gin fan. Because of the lemon juice and the little bit of simple syrup mixed with the Prosecco, you really don't taste the gin. It more gives it like a piney, like earthy kind of taste, but it's sweet enough from the simple syrup. It is really good. So this is how I will be enjoying my Mother's Day morning, mid-morning brunch time with my egg white pizza. Later in the day, we'll just, figure out what we're gonna do, grill some food up, have a special dessert, but that's how I look at a holiday or a special day, and I decide, is it sustenance, is it celebration, is it a combination of both? I always talk to my future self and I ask, how do you wanna feel tomorrow? How do you wanna feel come Monday? And that really helps me decide what event I'm gonna eat more for sustenance, which one I might wanna have a combination of sustenance and celebration, and that's how I do it. So Mother's Day, I'm gonna celebrate myself with the really delicious favorite cocktail, and we'll go from there. Now, oh, you know what? I literally just talked about this on my weekend sabotage workshop I did oh man, like 3 days ago. It was awesome. But in the workshop, what I'm covering is how to eliminate weekend sabotage. So if you're someone who, it's a holiday like Mother's Day, or it's a weekend and you just feel yourself starting over every single Monday, maybe you have a really long week. Maybe you are dialed in during the week, and then by the time the weekend comes and you have more time flexibility, you're like, I just want to cheat, like treat myself. I want to have a cheat day, or I want to eat and drink the things I don't normally eat during the week. And this is what I was talking about in the weekend sabotage workshop. You can do all of that and still get really amazing results, and still figure out when it's a celebratory time for food and drink, when it's sustenance, how to create structure in your weekend to really give you a plan and give you mindfulness to know what you want and how you want to feel come Monday. So if you missed that workshop and you want the replay, let me know. We are happy to send that over. Just drop me a comment, replay. We'll get that to you. And then you can figure out how to enjoy anything you want to eat or drink in the amount that best serves you and your goals, and never miss out on socializing and connecting over food and drink. Okay, happy Mother's Day to all you amazing mothers. Hope you try out Lauren's recipe and make a French 75 for yourself. I really shouldn't drink this. It's Tuesday, but honestly, it's so good right now. And it's like 70 degrees out. It's like perfect. One more sip, then I'll get back to it.